Hey guys, welcome back. I hope that you guys are all doing really well. Today I want to talk about something that I'm very passionate about and I've spoken about on my channel quite a few times before, and that is the importance of feeling good, being happy, living a positive life, and just having a positive impact on yourself and on the people around you. As you guys probably know, I love beauty and healthy food and all that kind of good stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, we could be living like the perfect lifestyle and doing all the perfect things, but if we're not feeling good on the inside, none of that really matters. And I think it's so important to take care of our insides, and not just, you know, by eating healthy, but by thinking positively, by doing positive things. And sometimes like life just happens and we could be going on a really positive, you know, streak and like down a really good path, and then life will throw something at our way, which might, you know, distract us or might completely just throw us off our path, or you might have a certain person come in your life and really upset you, or a certain situation or circumstance or whatever it is. The storm will come sometimes, and it's really important to know how to deal with that, like when that happens. And you know, sometimes it can be, you know, something internal that happens. So not necessarily, you know, that someone did something to you that you feel upset, but it could be in ourselves. Sometimes we could just start feeling completely miserable out of the blue. You know, it has nothing to do with what someone else has done. Sometimes we are our own biggest critic, and we can just get ourselves down all by ourselves. So I kind of want to talk about how I deal with that when, you know, those kinds of things occur. And also I did get a question, I think it was on my Instagram, or I think it was actually on my Snapchat. They were asking what I do if I'm feeling like really down and I need kind of like a pick-me-up, you know, what is it that I do? So I kind of want to talk about this subject. I have written down a few things that I want to make sure that I talk about, but otherwise it's just kind of going to be like a little conversation with you guys on this topic, like a casual girly chit-chat girl talk video. The first thing I want to talk about is the importance of truly being your own best friend and your own supporter. And this is something that is so important, and I think that it does come with time. If you're really feeling down or negative, you know, how would you treat if you had a friend who was going through that? You would try to make her feel better. You would give her maybe like a pep talk. You would try to understand where the sadness is coming from and, you know, how you can fix it. You might take your friend for a walk. You might take her out shopping. You might buy her some flowers. Do all those things for yourself. And at the end of the day, we're gonna have all different types of people come in and out of our lives. Some are gonna stay for a really long time, and some are just gonna be like visitors. But truly, at the end of the day, the person who you will always have with you is yourself. So it's really important to be friends with yourself and be kind to yourself, and like motivate yourself and push yourself and reward yourself and take care of yourself. It's the most important relationship you'll ever have with anyone in your whole life, is the one that you have with yourself. And I know that it can be really difficult sometimes, especially if we compare ourselves a lot to other people, or, you know, sometimes we can be very hard on ourselves. Like I know sometimes that I'm my own biggest critic, and when I become mindful of that and I can like catch myself doing that, I immediately try to switch that and, you know, try to think of myself as if I was my friend or if I was my sister. You know, I wouldn't be talking to that person in that way. Really look at yourself, find things that you love about yourself and articulate it, say it, feel it, and really let your body absorb those compliments and that positivity, and think about those things during the day. If you have confidence, if you have self-belief, those two things can get you so far in life. So definitely take that time, invest it in yourself, and also, you know, find out things that you like and do more of those things. This is definitely an area that is quite different for a lot of us, like what we're passionate about and what makes us happy and like gets us excited and like, happy about life. And for me, something that I really love is pampering myself. I love it. I have so much joy from it. And if I'm happy and I have a good outlook on life, I can do positive things in this world, and it really does all start from within. Especially if you are a young girl watching this, I really hope that if you take anything away from this video, let that be to be kind to yourself and to love yourself and value yourself. You are amazing and beautiful and smart and kind. And I know especially as a teenager, we can get into these moments of comparison and of like self-judgment and stuff like that, or you can be just really harsh on yourself, on your body. Your body's going through a lot of different changes, your hormones are going through a lot of changes as well, which can have an effect on your mood. But if you look at someone or admire someone, use that as inspiration, use that as fuel, use that as motivation to achieve the things that you want to achieve, instead of thinking of it as something negative and something that you'll never obtain and I'm not good enough for that or something. Use it as motivation. So it's so important to take care of yourself and be your own best friend. It's kind of like that saying, when you're flying an airplane and they tell you you have to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help others, because if you are helping someone else, you could literally just pass out in the process and then that person wouldn't be able to get any oxygen either. Fill yourself up so that you have something positive to give to other people. And also something that I think is a pretty good exercise to do as far as like having a positive relationship with yourself is also to be less judgmental of other people and really to find the positiveness, whether that's a physical feature on their body or on their face, or if it's something that's about their personality. And the way that I kind of like envision this is practicing your like positivity muscle. Okay, this looks really weird, but like, a muscle that you can build and make stronger. It's like training your brain to see the positivity in certain people, in certain situations, in certain environments or whatever, and also in yourself. If we practice our positivity muscle on other people, I think it can also be a reflection of how we look at ourselves. So if you meet someone new, or you can even do this with your current like friends and family, find things that you love about them and verbalize it, say it, compliment them, make it like a thing, let them know what it is that you are really loving about them, or that you really find positive, or something that you think is really great about them. And I guarantee you, not only will it make them feel really happy and special and like, oh, she thought about this or that or whatever, it's also going to make you feel good. The next thing I want to talk about, which is also something that is super, super important, is to be in a positive environment and have positivity around you, positive people, a positive space, a clean space. Sometimes we may not have those positive friends or those positive like family members or whatever that we would really want to have. Then spend time with yourself. Like, I would so much rather do something on my own than force myself to be around people who I just don't vibe well with. And as I said in the beginning of this video, sometimes life will just smack us right in the face. We could be on a really positive like path, and then something will come in and just completely disrupt something. It's definitely our responsibility to take ourselves out of that situation and make sure that we're okay. So whether that's with a certain relationship that you might be having, or a certain place that you might be living, or whatever the situation is, nobody is going to save us but ourselves. It's our responsibility to make sure that we're happy, and either to change something that we can to make that into a better place, or completely get out of that place and move on. And I think a lot of the times, if you are a positive, kind, nice, caring person, you can get definitely taken advantage of. The way that I respond or deal with people who are negative or who have very hurtful intentions towards me is to just ignore it. I never want to give my energy or compromise my own happiness for someone who is really a bad person, somebody who is spreading complete lies about me or very hateful and abusive stuff. I never want to give them attention. Always ignore the bully. If you give that bully or that negative person your attention, they basically feed off of that. There's also another saying, live in such a way if people talk negatively about you, nobody would believe it. And the best way that I deal with that, like literally if somebody shows me that they're not a good person or that they're just using me in some sort of way to gain something from that, I will never speak to that person again and I will just move on with my life. I hope that you can take this as like a little takeaway from this video, is to just not feed into negativity. And if you notice that there's a person who is just no good for you, just leave them, say goodbye, wish them well. Don't let it affect your life. Let's talk about some like practical things that you can do just in your own space. For me personally, I love to have things clean and organized and pretty looking. I'm also a real sucker for quotes. Like if I find a quote that I really like, sometimes I'll print it out and I'll put it somewhere so that I can read it and I can remind myself of it. I love having pictures of my friends and family that are really close to me. I also love music. I have music playing almost all the time. Music can just be so good for the soul and just so uplifting. And I don't know if you guys have this too, but sometimes like if a song is really good, you know, whether that's like a fast-paced or slow-paced song, like you can just get lost in a song and like let it take you away. Something else that's also really, really great is positive affirmations, or these like positive meditations that you can do. There are so many online. As you guys may know, one of my favorite authors or like inspirational people is Louise. She has some really, really great like positive affirmation videos that I've actually downloaded and I listen to them either if I'm out on a walk or if I'm getting ready or whatever. It's something that's just really nice to, you know, have in the background and like listen to and really absorb. She has a few that I really like. One is really nice for like nighttime. I will leave that down below in the description box if some of you guys are interested in that, and then also some of her other stuff that I really like. So moving on to the last thing I want to talk about is the importance of nourishing yourself. And when I say nourishing, I don't just mean food-wise, I mean body-wise, I mean soul-wise. But definitely for me, something that makes a huge difference in the way that I feel is when I eat healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean minimally processed foods that have a lot of fresh nutrients, vitamins, etc. So lots of fruits, vegetables. Of course, that's not all that I eat, but I try to incorporate lots of fruits and veg into my diet. Something else that I really love to do for my health is to go out for walks in nature. I honestly haven't been doing any like crazy exercise recently. I think it's also because it's getting pretty cold and I want to like snuggle inside. I don't know, I don't really want to go outside too much, but if I do, I really love to go on a long walk. Just being out in nature makes me feel really good, breathing fresh air, seeing beautiful things, and I feel like it just has this nice energy about it that I really love. Also, practicing yoga, as you guys may know, is something that I really love. And of course, you guys know that I'm very passionate about beauty and makeup. I love that stuff. Something that's like a really quick pick-me-up for me is doing my makeup or doing my hair or putting on a nice perfume, or sometimes it can even be as simple as taking off my makeup and putting on like a really nice soothing cream or face mask or something like that. I think it's actually kind of crazy how much joy like beauty products and makeup give me. Maybe some of you guys can relate to that, but like seriously, it makes me so happy. And there are of course some people who are not going to understand that, or who are going to think that that's stupid or whatever. Whatever it is that makes you happy, who freaking cares? Who cares? What makes me happy might not make you happy, and vice versa, but find what it is and do it and live it and enjoy it. So to answer the initial question, kind of what sparked this whole conversation, what do I personally do if I'm feeling in a rut or if I'm just having a bad day? Definitely to remind myself that I am my own best friend. I am my #1 supporter. Create an environment that you feel really positive in or inspired in. That goes from little things like even just how you organize your desk, or you know, maybe the quotes that you have in your room, or the music that you listen to, or the people that you interact with. And then also making sure that I'm nourishing myself well, both physically physically, like with eating healthy food and drinking water and making sure that I get some exercise throughout the week, but also nourishing my soul and my mind and doing things that really make me happy regardless of what anyone thinks of them. Never be afraid to be different from other people or feel that you have to like mold yourself in a certain way to fit in or to be accepted. That saying goes, those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Is that how it goes? I think that's how it goes. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below if you have any other questions or topics that you might want me to discuss or talk about. It's always really nice to hear from you guys and read all your comments. Maybe you guys can also share your little like pick-me-ups or thoughts or ideas on the topics that I mentioned in this video. So I look forward to reading those. So as always, you guys can follow me on my social media. I am on Instagram and Snapchat, and both of those are at AnnieJaffrey. I also have a Tumblr that I really love for like inspiration on this topic of inspiration and feeling happy and positive. I love scrolling through my Tumblr, and I swear just like looking sometimes at certain pictures just gives me so much inspiration and motivation, and I just love it. So if you want to check out my Tumblr, I will leave a link for that down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you guys are having a nice day, and I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Bye guys!